Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. As you already have been introduced, we have some real celebrities and stars out here that are with us today. Of course, more importantly, the media is with us today. But I think the job I've been given today, which is why I've traveled all the way from Delhi to Hyderabad, is to tell you why are we here with the India Gadget Expo? Why are we bringing it to Hyderabad? Why with the Telangana government? And what is it that we really are looking forward to? Now, they say usually if you're addressing the media, the best way to make sure that they absolutely retain nothing is to come up with a really long, boring speech. So I won't do that at all. I'll just tell you one or two very interesting stories that usually resonates better. So I'm going to start off the story by telling you last year we were here, we played a very small role at India Gadget Expo 2014. You saw some clips of that. One of the things you saw, of course, was that the minister was part of that too, and he looked, he's looking no different. In fact, I think you're looking younger today. So our first question to you from the media is going to be, how did you manage last year? What have you done? So that's the technology we want to know about. But more important than that is we were here last year. It was a great start. But at that time when I came onto stage, I mentioned something, and I said whenever I come to events like this that happen in India, I always dream of the fact that there are 2 or 3 events abroad that absolutely and totally blow your mind. Things like CES, which happened in Vegas, or the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, or IFA in Germany. These are events that are world standard. These are events that are this large that every single company in the world actually has to queue up and book space years ahead. CES for Vegas usually fills up about 4 years before the company actually presents for that year. And I always come back after covering those events on my show, and I always think, how is it that we don't have something like that here in India? And that's exactly what I said when I started off by giving a very short talk that day, 2014 IGE. And that's when the minister actually said, so what do you need to do that? And that's exactly where this entire idea started. Our idea, our purpose, our thought, our dream, our ambition with this is, that's exactly what we want IGE 2015 to be. If I've always dreamt that we go to CES, the Mobile World Congress, IFA, and come back saying one day we want to be like them, now the dream and ambition is that by the time IGE 2015 is over, people from the countries that actually attend CES, the Mobile World Congress, and IFA should come to IGE 2015 and say, one day we truly dream we'll be able to do what you guys did here. That really is the ambition. This is the first step. So what is it? How is it that it's going to be this different? How can we make it as big as what they've been doing? They've had about somewhere between 60 to 70 years of a head start. So we have a little bit of covering up to do, but we can absolutely do it. And this year would be the start for it for sure. The minister will come and tell you a lot more about how we plan to paint the city of Hyderabad into a tech week. What are we going to do out here starting a few days before? I mean, things are starting already with a radio show, with a lot more other things that are starting. I've just been told about many things that have been launched. But I think the main idea is that when that 1 week of when we have IGE and the NDTV Gadget Guru Awards happening here, we're going to paint this town into tech town. This is going to be everything that you think, starting from the time people arrive at the airport to wherever they go in the city, the hotel that they check in, and everything else they do. The start and end all of all that should be IGE and the Gadget Guru Awards. That really is what we really want to take it forward. But it's not only for show. There has to be substance too. So from some of the biggest launches, things that will be shown here for the first time ever in the world. Headline news on every single day where companies, brands and product makers will actually use this platform to say today we launch this and we launch it in India, in Hyderabad, at the IGE 2015. That is exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a showcase of everything that blows everybody's mind. Things that we really think are absolutely amazing and out of the box, well, a lot of people will then say, the first time we saw it here at IGE, and the honor that went for the best gadgets, always after the full year's circle will be, some of the best gadgets were launched here at IGE 2015, and some of the best gadgets won awards in the NDTV Gadget Awards 2016. That's the cycle we really love, should happen. There's a lot more that's going to happen, the purpose, the ambition, and everything else that's behind it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take another 30 seconds to also introduce to you the NDTV Gadget Awards. What is it about? We've done this for a lot of years. I was telling the minister that the Gadget Guru Award, the Gadget Guru show is about to reach 10 years. We're going to complete 10 years of it. And that, I think, is a very big deal because as somebody asked me right now, so you've kept people interested in tech for 10 years. So my question was, I don't know whether we've kept them interested or bored them to death, that they don't have the guts to tell us to go off. But we're doing something right out there. And it is very important in a world of technology to actually honor and recognize those that are doing something amazing. So the categories that we have and what all that we are going to be doing in the awards, I'm going to show you a very quick clip of what the NDTV Gadget Guru Awards is all about, and I'll fill in the blanks right after that. Could we roll that Gadget Guru clip, please? Because almost can't take the amount of energy that we are actually exuding out here. So the NDTV Gadget Awards is now an industry standard. Companies that actually win an award come and tell us that when they actually put the stamp that on their ads and their campaigns that their TV, their product, their phone actually won the Gadget Guru Award, their sales sometimes quadruple and go even further. So it is an industry standard. It's very coveted. A lot of people wait for it to happen. From the jury, the practice, how we go about it, the nominations, the number of companies that actually come in and give the award. We've been called the biggest in Asia. Now we'll have to find out if it's actually true or not. But it is true that we get more than 11 to 1,500 nominations, and the number of companies that are coming in with their products are always waiting for that one final envelope to be opened and which company wins which award. This year we've got some more new categories, so we will reveal all of that to you. But I think I've taken more than the allocated time that I was supposed to have. All I want to end by saying is that the India Gadget Expo and the NDTV Gadget Awards, in collaboration with all the people out here, the Telangana government, the minister himself, you don't have to mark your calendars, you don't have to look at that be there thing at all. Believe me, there's no way you're going to miss it. There's no way that entire week is something you can escape. We're coming here, IGE is here, Hyderabad is going to be the tech city of the country. It starts in September. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Honorable Minister for Information Technology, Government of Telangana, Sri K.T. Rama Rajiv, and Jayesh, Ranjan, Sanjeev, dignitaries, my dear friends from media. Hyderabad is witnessing a new era. All these years we are talking about Hyderabad is the pharma capital, Hyderabad is the educational capital, Hyderabad is the software capital. As Rajiv was mentioning, Hyderabad is going to be tech city, new tech city. So what do you mean by new tech city? When Gadget India show is going to happen in the month of September, we will see a lot of gadgets which are primarily imported from other countries, or maybe some may be assembled in India, are going to be displayed here in the Gadget India show. But we want the companies here to design, innovate, and find out new technologies, come up with the new products for not only Indian market, for the global market. That's really why, along with this India Gadget Expo, we are planning to encourage the innovators, the designers from all over the country to come to Hyderabad, and we want to recognize them with cash awards. We have 5 categories of awards. One is the Best Innovation Award across all the sectors, whether it's enterprise device, all the different sectors, which has got that the best innovation. So that will be given one category. And apart from that, the Best Startup Company Award. In that we will have 10 finalists and also growth stage. Apart from that, we will also have one category which is going to make the biggest impact for the society. So what is the product which is going to make a biggest impact for the society? That's one category. The last category is IIITs and various engineering colleges. There have been a lot of innovative projects these days. We want to recognize the best project, particularly going to set up their own product companies and design companies in Hyderabad in India. So these are the 5 categories. All the finalists in each category, there will be 10 finalists. These finalists will have the free space in the India Gadget Expo, and also NDTV is going to give the free promo in their media channels. And out of these 10 finalists, top 3 will also be given the cash awards. The cash awards, the details have been very attractive cash awards are there. That will be announced subsequently by Sanjeev and the team. But the way I am getting the information that the cash awards is going to be very, very attractive, not only for the people within India, even outside India, people also may come all the way to Hyderabad to showcase their technology, the products. So with this, I welcome you all once again for the India Gadget Expo. And definitely, with all the developments taking place, Hyderabad, I am going to see Hyderabad with the support from our dynamic IT Minister, Secretary Rama. We want to see Hyderabad as the knowledge capital of the country, design capital of the country, innovation capital of the country. Definitely, it's going to be product capital of the country. With this, I thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Rajiv, Makhni, Mr. Jayesh, Chowdary, Mr. Sanjeev, members of the media, distinguished guests. It's a matter of great honor that the second Indian Gadget Expo is happening in Hyderabad again at a much, much larger scale. Normally, these kind of events follow their own life cycle, and usually it takes 4 or 5 years to get to a larger scale. But if we compare the first edition which happened last year to the second edition which will happen this year, we see amazing kind of growth. For instance, last year we had 100 exhibitors. This year it has gone up by 3-folds. We will have 300 exhibitors. Last year we had 40,000 footfalls. We are expecting over 100,000 footfalls this year. More than that actually, 120,000. So 4-fold increase in the visitorship to this event, and we are very fortunate that we have got some very strong partners. NDTV is supporting us, and so are other very, very credible industry partners. Yesterday, as most of you would be aware, the Digital India program has been officially launched by the Prime Minister, and those of you who watched it on television or who read about it, Prime Minister made a very important point. In fact, he has set before us a very, very audacious target. The Prime Minister mentioned that the largest item of import for the country is petroleum and petroleum products, and he said that the second largest item which we import are electronic goods. And while importing petroleum products is inevitable because we don't really have that quantity which is required for our energy requirements, but he felt that there is no reason why we need to import so much of electronic goods. And he has set before us a very audacious target that by 2020, the quantum of imports of electronic goods into India should be 0%, which is phenomenal. And I mean, we actually embrace this kind of a challenge here in Telangana. We are very keen that a large part of that Make in India manufacturing opportunity comes our way. And we have already started seeing some very, very encouraging initial results. And using this platform of the Indian Gadget Expo, we hope to get connected to many other manufacturers to whom we can showcase what are the advantages of Make in Telangana, what are the policies, what are the infrastructure support that we are willing to give. We also know that exhibitions like these are really looked forward to by consumers. So if this exhibition is happening for the second time in Hyderabad, that again has a very strong consumer element as well, because a number of recent studies have shown that amongst all consumer markets in the country, in India, the Hyderabad consumer market grows the largest, and in the segment which is gadget friendly, particularly 19 to 35, in that age bracket, the growth of Indian consumer market is best in Hyderabad. So I'm sure the consumers also will be very eager to receive this show, and all the exhibitors will also have a very good time in getting very interested and very discerning buyers and consumers visit them. So I do look forward to India Gadget Expo remaining forever in Hyderabad and creating this kind of a win-win platform. The exhibitors benefit, the consumers benefit, and the government also benefits. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Firstly, I'd like to welcome India Gadget Expo to Hyderabad.
Rajiv Makhni, the gadget guru of India, the most recognized and well-known face for technology, for gadgets on television. Our IT Secretary, Mr. Jayesh, Ranjan, Sanjeev from IGE, and Mr. Jayesh Chowdary, Hyderabad for Innovation, and all friends from media. Warm welcome to all of you. What better time to launch the India Gadget Expo, a press conference and India Gadget Expo announcement. What better time to make it than the launch, right after the launch of Digital India yesterday by Honorable Prime Minister. You may have, some of you may have watched it on television, some of you may have been there in person, and some of you may have read about it today. Tomorrow, starting tomorrow, in fact, we are launching our own Digital Telangana campaign as well, of which there are several events planned. Now, I think an event like the India Gadget Expo happening in Hyderabad, one should remember, one should realize, this kind of an event only happens, I mean, there's not a single event in the entire continent, in Asia, of this magnitude, of this size. We have the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, we have the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, we have IFA in Germany, but there is none whatsoever in Asia. This probably, India Gadget Expo probably has the potential to be one of the world's most respected, one of the world's most followed, one of the most revered tech shows across the world. Now, like I said, in Asia, there isn't a show to compete with, but I'm quite confident with Rajiv, with NDTV, with the entire team of India Gadget Expo running this show and combining it with the Gadget Guru Awards as well. I think we are going to do a stellar show this year, because last year was just the beginning. I would like to request both Rajiv and the India Gadget Expo team to make Hyderabad the permanent venue for India Gadget Expo. We would like to be known in the lines of a Las Vegas, a Barcelona, or a Germany. We would not want you to switch loyalties and go to Delhi or someplace, because Rajiv, I know, has to travel a couple of hours to get here. So we would not want you to switch loyalties to Delhi, Rajiv. Also, one more thing I wanted to point out on that account. Last year, just in the first year of our state being around, June 2nd, 2014, our state came into being. And in the very first year, Hyderabad was number 2 for meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions. As a MICE, for all MICE activities, we were the number 2 after Delhi. But this year, I promise you, we have so many events lined up. I promise you, we will definitely usurp that number 1 position from Delhi. Will definitely be the MICE capital for this country, if not the continent, right to begin with. So, India Gadget Expo, what can you look forward to? I think Rajiv was very explicit. He told us all about, the product launches, all about the flash sales, all about the seminars, the best practices, and basically putting Hyderabad on the map internationally to ensure that we attract people from all over the world. In fact, we've taken it upon ourselves, the government of Telangana. We've written to more than 100 CEOs of eminent organizations in technology to actually come work with us during this week. We've requested them to join hands, we've requested them to be part of the seminars, we've requested them also to take a tour of the city and also explore investment potential here. And we definitely hope that during this week, a lot of these will actually come to fruition as well. And like Rajiv had mentioned, we are going to paint the town, not pink actually, but we're going to paint the town with the shades of what is it, red and green, India Gadget Expo, the logo. It will be all over the town, starting from the airport to the hotels to the streets. It will be, the entire town is set to wear a festive look, because we really want to mark this as an international event, like I said. We want to make sure Hyderabad gets registered on the international circuit of all these wonderful gadget shows that happen. I also look forward to a couple more things. In fact, we were just talking about Digital India and Digital Telangana before I stepped here. And I was telling Rajiv as to how technology can be a great leveler. Tomorrow and day after, when we start our Digital Telangana campaign, we're trying to bring about convergence of various line departments. We're trying to launch as many products. In fact, one of the products that Rajiv probably could be interested in is, in tandem with ICRISAT, we're launching a phablet for our farming community in Telangana. We're trying to ensure that the modern technology updates, the modern technology, the opportunities that modern technology provides also should be accessible to the farming community. We're going to launch a couple of phablets. We're also working with the endowments department to start online services for a couple of their famous temples, Bhadrachalam and Yadadri. We'll be launching online reservations, online bookings, etc. We're also working with the Social Welfare Department to ensure that the money provided to these children who are from economically vulnerable backgrounds reaches them absolutely, and there is no corruption in between. So we're launching a biometric system in Warangal, and we're also launching our wireless facility in Telangana University, so that universities are also fully equipped and fully Wi-Fi enabled in days to come. And we're doing several other things which I can't recall right now, but we're working with several line departments to ensure that this Digital Telangana Week goes in full steam and we do a good job. In fact, keeping in line with Honorable Prime Minister's speech yesterday, I was very happy to hear his vision for the next 5 years in regards to Digital India campaign. I think the priorities of Government of India and the priorities of Government of Telangana are in perfect alignment as far as information technology and this Digital India campaign goes. Honorable Prime Minister yesterday spoke about taking the services to the citizens from e-governance to mobile governance. We've been talking about that for a while as well. In fact, I would be remiss to mention, during this week, we'll also be launching a few mobile applications, or Me Seva applications on a mobile, wherein the people of the state can also start utilizing the government services, the citizen services through their own smartphones. So mobile governance is one thing the Honorable Prime Minister talked about. Cyber security is something else he talked about. We're also very conscious. In fact, we're also going to sign an MOU with one of the prestigious institutes in Hyderabad to start training more and more cyber warriors this week. And Honorable Prime Minister also talked about innovation, as you all know, and he actually threw a challenge for the youth of this country yesterday. He said, how come we don't have Googles and Twitters coming out of India? A country like ours, which is known for technology and technological expertise, how come we don't actually have innovators coming out of this big country? So I think that's something I've talked enough about. I think now time to inaugurate T-Hub this month, so I will not say more. But the other thing I'm extremely kicked about and extremely happy about, India Gadget Expo happening in Hyderabad, and a lot of gadget companies are also starting manufacturing in Hyderabad. As you all know, last week our own homegrown company called Cellcon, which manufactures mobile phones, has started their first mobile manufacturing unit in our own Hyderabad last week. Now we have Micromax coming up sometime next week during this Digital India campaign. They're also setting up their manufacturing facility here. We're in talks with multiple organizations. In fact, we're in talks with a number of mobile manufacturers, and most definitely, as our Honorable Prime Minister, as our Honorable Union IT Minister had mentioned yesterday, in a country where the population is about 120 crores and the mobile phone usage is about 97 crores and the smartphones are about 32 crores, I think the potential is huge. And with inventions, with breakthroughs coming in every so often, I think the sky is the limit. So look forward to the day when not just India Gadget Expo makes Hyderabad their home base. I also look forward to the day when mobile manufacturing takes root in Hyderabad, not just Cellcon and Micromax, but a lot more organizations that we're talking to. In fact, we were recently in Taiwan as well, and that visit also has paid off. In fact, we have a couple of very interesting organizations who are also set to visit us soon, and hopefully some of them also will take key decisions in days to come. So once again, I look forward to the day when India Gadget Expo becomes a name to reckon with across the world, like a CES, like a Mobile World Congress, like an IFA. Rajiv and his team have done a fabulous job in terms of just reaching out, spreading the word, coming out with wonderful promotion material on NDTV. NDTV has been a great support for this campaign. The Government of Telangana is fully with you guys. I hope you do a wonderful show. I hope you make Hyderabad your home base, and I hope this show grows from strength to strength. Thank you once again for all the media friends for showing up in such large numbers. Thank you very much.